Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lindsay and I bring you content on clean beauty and skincare. If you're not already subscribed, I'd love to have you. Today's video, we're doing a full face of Pacifica Beauty, which is a video I've been wanting to do for quite a while now. I'm so excited I get to bring it to you guys now. So if you want to see how I ended up getting this look, then keep watching. Okay guys, let's get right into it. I do already have my skin prepped. I do have one skincare product from Pacifica I'm going to use today. It's the Coconut Essence Hydro Mist. I mentioned this in my best skincare for oily and acne prone skin video. It has coconut and caffeine, smells really good. I'm going to use this to refresh my skin before we go ahead and start with the makeup. So some of the products in this video I have tried before, some I haven't, so it's going to either go really good or bad. We will see. First product we have here is the Light Clean Foundation. I do have a full video review on this and their concealer. I reviewed it when it probably first came out, I think. I have the shade 34 Neutral Light, which is a little bit light for me right now just because I have a little bit of a self-tan on, so I am going to mix it in with the Juice Beauty Bronzing Boost. I know this isn't a Pacifica product, but I do need to change the color of it a little bit, so I'm just going to do a pump of the foundation and then probably just a little bit of this bronzing boost. This Juice Beauty Bronzing Boost smells so good. It smells like chocolate. So I think that shade is looking a little bit more like my color. So let's get the hair back. I'm going to start off by blending this with a dense brush and then probably going with a sponge afterwards. So I kind of have a general idea of like what look I'm going to do today, but at the same time I'm also kind of winging it. So we'll see how this ends up turning out. This foundation is really thick and full coverage. So if you're going to wear it like every day, I would suggest thinning it out. Like even just that bronzing boost helped a lot with just the texture and blendability of it. Now that it's kind of on my face, I'm going to go in with the sponge and blend it out a little bit better. I did already do my brows because I couldn't find some brow products from Pacifica. I found like a brow gel, but I didn't find like a brow pencil or anything, so I decided just to skip those products. But everything else in this video will be from Pacifica. If you guys are curious about like what I use to prep my skin or anything like that, I will put everything in the description along with what I use to do my brows. Also, if you guys want like a full brow tutorial, definitely let me know. Just comment below. Or comment below any other video suggestions you have. I love hearing like your guys' video ideas. You guys', is that correct grammar? Probably not. Now that that is blended out, I do have some cream correctors I want to use. I did use these, I think in my conventional makeup techniques using clean beauty video. And it just has a green, a peach, and then a yellow in this little trio. They look pretty stiff, but like you kind of have to warm them up before you even use them, so I wouldn't go directly in with a brush. I like to kind of warm it up with my finger, and then you could put it on the back of your hand and use a brush. But I'm just going to be using this like peach tone shade just a little bit for under my eyes before we go in with our concealer. So I'm just mixing up a little bit on the back of my hand. They're super pigmented too, so you need the smallest amount of this. I honestly did not think I was going to like these correctors. I feel like most cream correctors, like, they're not really formulated well to go under your eyes, and they're like really creasy or just like a super weird formula. But these ones are actually so beautiful, and they're like super creamy, but they set down well and they don't crease under my eyes, which is a huge plus. So I don't know if you could tell, but it really just helped to brighten up my under eyes. You can honestly just leave it like this, or you can go in with concealer afterwards. And then the green and the yellow, those are both really good for correcting any sort of redness. But since that foundation is so full coverage, I don't really think I need any of them. Maybe on this little blemish we'll put some green. Okay, next up we are on to concealer. Again, I already have a review on this. I already know I like this product. It's the Liquid Cover Full Coverage Lasting Concealer, vegan, cruelty-free. I have the shade 20 NF, which I believe is their lightest shade in this concealer. And I'm just going to do a little bit of this under my eyes. That was not good placement. And then just on some blemishes. Concealer is really nice and lightweight, but it does give a nice amount of coverage. So if you like that type of concealer, I would definitely recommend at least trying it. I mean, it's pretty affordable, so it's worth a shot. Can look a little cakey if you use too much, but I find if I just like really blend it in well, it looks good. Next up, I have this mineral neutralizing mattifier. I saw this had some pretty good reviews online, so I wanted to pick it up. I initially did not pick this up for the video, but I went back to the store yesterday just to get this because I realized I didn't really have a setting powder, and I wanted to try this one out. It does not smell like cherries. If you think that it would, it does not. And then I'm just gonna take an under eye setting brush and set my eyes. They do have two shades of this, by the way. I have the lighter shade. They have shade 1 and shade 2. I'm guessing shade 2 is probably just has a little bit more of a tint to it. This one kind of just seems translucent. Wow, that actually looks really good. I find with some setting powders it can make that Pacifica concealer look cakey. Like, that went on so nice, and I feel like it didn't take away the coverage like a lot of powders I have do, and it kind of just looks nice and smooth and set under there. Let's go ahead and do the other eye. Okay, so I think that set my under eyes really well. Super interesting to do full face of like one brand videos, because I find with some brands, like, all of their products, they either work well together or they don't, but so far I think all of these products are like really working well together, which I like, because if you know you like a product and then you get something else from the brand that's kind of made to work with it, it's a little bit easier to get your makeup to look nicer. I'm just gonna use that same powder on a bigger brush just to set the rest of my face. I'm really impressed with this powder so far. Like, I feel like it doesn't just like, doesn't look like anything special. Not that like packaging is determines what the product is, but I just didn't have high expectations, but it looks really good. This would be great if you have oily skin, but also like any other skin type. Like, it doesn't make me look dry. Like, look how good this looks. I'm amazed. I'm in love with this powder. I feel like this would be such like a perfect thing to throw in your bag too, just for some touch-ups throughout the day. Okay, so my under eyes are actually starting to look a little bit heavy. Not sure if it's because I did concealer and corrector and powder. Might be a combination of just having too much product under there. But the rest of my face is looking really smooth, really nice. I'm into it. Next up, I have a really fun product I wanted to try. Don't know what that was, but moving on. I picked up this palette that you probably can't see because it's all white basically. It just says Pacifica on it, but this is their Solar Complete Mineral Palette. Actually have the little box here. So this has eyeshadows, a blush, a bronzer, and highlighters in it. I wanted to pick this up because I love like all-in-one palettes. Usually they're pretty good value. This was like $30, I think. So we have bronzer, blush, these are the shadows. Only complaint is that there's no matte shadows. They're all shimmery, which is kind of annoying. I feel like every eye look needs like at least a matte transition shade. And then these are the highlight shades up there. But anyway, we're gonna try these out. I'm gonna go ahead and start with this bronzer, and then of course I'm gonna use that blush as well. Okay, the bronzer is actually really pretty. It blended out pretty well. It's funny, whenever I use a bronzer that's not the Han Cosmetics one, I always put like way too much on because I'm so used to just like going ham in that bronzer and it looking good. So definitely have to be light-handed with this. Let's do the other side. I think the tone is nice. It's not too warm toned or too like reddish looking. And it does like in the pan look like it has quite a bit of shimmer in it, but on the skin it's kind of just a natural glow. I don't notice any sort of like glitter pigments or anything of that nature.
Got like with the arm going in.
Thanks.
Welcome.
Okay, so the bronzer looks really pretty. My under eyes were looking super cakey, so I had to go in and I honestly literally just like wiped off my under eyes and just put powder under there, because I think it was probably the cream correctors that were just like that layered with like the foundation and the concealer. It was like way too much. It was looking super creasy, so I just wiped it off and then put a little bit of this powder, and I feel like it has such a really nice brightening effect. Like, I literally just wiped off concealer and put the powder on without any other coverage, and it like looks even still. So this powder saved my life from that under eye disaster. Anyway, the bronzer was nice. Really like the tone of it. I feel like I don't have any like warmer tone bronzers like this in my collection, so I'm impressed with that. The formula is smooth, it blended out well. There's not any sort of patchiness either. So far, majority of the products, I'm really liking how the face is coming out. I'm gonna go ahead and do the blush in this palette, which is sort of like a mid-tone. I don't even know. It's got some shimmer in it, but it's more of like a subdued pink, so it's not like a bright coral. It's got a nice amount of just sheerness to it. Let me grab a brush. I love freshly cleaned brushes. So good. Okay, so again with that blush formula, really nice and buttery, has a little bit of shimmer to it, not too much. It molded well with the bronzer and is kind of just giving me a nice glow there. Isn't crazy pigmented, which I like in a blush. So far blush and the bronzer are a hit. Now let's go on to these highlighter creams, which I'm kind of worried about because I swatched them and they're really weird textures. They're like sort of creamy, but like when you apply it, it's almost like it feels like a powder, which I don't know how would go well on the face. So there's like a champagne, a purple tone, and then like a pink. And the pink honestly doesn't have that much pigment to it, so I'm just gonna go in with the champagne cream color. I feel like it would go the best with this look anyway. And I think I'm just gonna try and use my fingers for this. Okay, so there's the highlight. Not my favorite product, a little bit of a weird formula, but I don't really mind it. I'm gonna go ahead and just set down my face with the Coconut Essence Hydro Mist I mentioned earlier, just to take down any sort of like cakiness or powderiness that we have acquired by now. Okay, so now that our face is complete, let me go ahead and zoom you guys in and we will get started on a little bit of an eye look. I think I'm gonna do something like bronzy just because there's no matte shade, so I'm gonna have to use the bronzer as sort of a transition shade. I want to do something with this blue, but again, there's just not any matte shades to pair it with. So we'll just see what we can come up with what we have here. So 1 second, I will zoom you in. See that? So I'm just gonna start with the bronzer shade as a, okay, focus. Okay, I'm gonna start with the bronzer shade in my crease, just because like I keep saying, there is no matte shades. But I love using bronzer in my crease anyway, so I ain't that mad about it. The thing about using bronzer in your crease too is usually it's not as pigmented as a shadow, so it's really forgiving. And if you mess up, it's really kind of easy to blend it away. So next up, I'm going to take this bronze shimmer shade. I'm probably going to take this on my finger and just pat it all over the lid. I did swatch these eyeshadows, and they're actually like really creamy formulas, so I'm excited to put them on my eye. Let me swatch some other shades for you. I feel like the formulas aren't really consistent though, because that brown one I just swatched was super creamy, but like the lighter shades aren't as pigmented. So here's like a deep purple, that bronze shade, a light pink, which didn't swatch that well, and then a gold peach tone, and then a blue, which again, those are creamy, but that light pink is probably the least pigmented out of all those shadows. Okay, like I said, I'm gonna go in with that bronze and just pat it on my lid. So that shade is really gorgeous. Definitely impressed with that one. Okay, so I really love how that shade looks on the lid, super creamy. I'm gonna go back in with the bronzer and kind of just fix up my crease a little bit, and then that'll also help to blend the lid shade into the crease. Before I move on, I'm going to take the bronzer and just hit my lower lash line to even out the look. I'm going to keep this look really soft and smoky, sort of messy, sort of just like I did this in 10 minutes, and I'm ready to go out the door. Okay, and then I'm also going to take that shimmery bronze shade I was using on my lid and put it just right on the inner lash line, whatever area you'd call this. That's where I'm putting it. Okay, next, I think I'm going to try to put this light champagne cream that I used on my face as my highlight, sort of on the center of my lid for a little bit of dimension. Not sure if it's going to work, but we sure are going to try. I feel like it would work out because they're really powdery. Okay, I feel like that didn't really do a whole lot, but we tried. I actually think I'm going to take this light blue shimmer shade and put it on my inner corner. Not sure if it's going to look good, but we're sure going to try it. Why did I get like a country accent? Okay, I feel like the light is sort of washing it out a little bit. I don't know if you can see that, but it looks really pretty. That gold is gorgeous. It has like such a cool golden shift to it, so it looks like really dimensional. This is more shimmer than I've worn on my eyes in like 10 years, but I'm kind of feeling it. Kind of got me out of my comfort zone with all matte looks. So, opinion on this palette, all the formulas are nice. This one, not that pigmented, but the rest of them I think are pretty. Blush and bronzer are like highlight creams. They're okay. I feel like it's a weird formula that I wouldn't really reach for. But if you're looking for something to like travel with or sort of just like a good value, I think it's great because you do get that blush, bronzer, and all those eyeshadows. So I think it's a pretty good value if you wanted to try it out. Also, I feel like I haven't seen a lot of these like more fun colors in clean beauty lately, so also a good way to sort of try some more colorful looks. You know what, let's get a little bit more crazy with this. I'm gonna take this gold shade and put that on the center of my lid because that cream highlight I put there didn't really do anything. And I kind of just want a little something extra, you know? Okay. Let's move on to eyeliner. I have this eyeliner. Honestly, I have no idea what this is called, but I'm pretty sure it's the only liquid liner that they make. It's amazing. It's so thin. I use this every time I do a... Oh, that was not a good swatch at all. I use this every time I do a wing liner. So if you guys are looking for a clean black liquid liner, check this one out. It's amazing. I used to use the Physicians formula. I actually still have one in brown. Eye booster, which again, not the cleanest ingredients, but not the worst either. And it's sort of like the same style, except this one is like a brush tip and this one is a felt tip. I usually don't like felt tips, but this one's so thin that it's just super easy to get a precise line. So we're gonna go ahead and just do... Okay, we're just gonna go ahead and do a black wing liner with this. Okay, here is our eye look done. Put some lashes on and finish up my liner. I just did some Demi Wispies by Ardell. Nothing too crazy or dramatic. But yeah, I did do some lip liner as well just because I didn't have a lip liner and all we have is a lip gloss here. This is their Enlightened Lip Gloss, Nourishing Lip Gloss. I got the shade Nudist, which looks like a really pretty, almost like a light coral type of gloss. And it has a nice doe foot. Oh yeah, that's like the perfect color. Just what I wanted. The shade is so pretty. It's like nude, but it has a little bit of warmth to it. I think goes really well with like the bronzy eyes. Oh, we're feeling it. We're definitely feeling it. Oh, I also forgot to mention that I put on the Pacifica Stellar Gaze Length and Strength Mineral Mascara. This has a really nice sort of fluffy brush. It's more of a voluminizing mascara if you like that. It gives you really nice like light wispy lashes. I also love their Dream Big mascara. I think they make a really good mascara, so I did put this on my lashes, top and bottom. So I think that's it for our look today. Yeah, that was everything for our look. It's done. Here it is. Do you like it? I'm gonna go ahead and fix my hair and we will be back for the outro. Okay guys, that was it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. If you haven't already, it really helps me out. Let me know in the comments below if you like seeing a full face of one brand videos because I love to make them and I love to hear from you guys. So thanks again for watching and I will see you in my next video.